Finish up. You've been activated.
Good. I was getting bored of this place anyway. Just another day on the site, yeah?
That's someone new.
He's the most antisocial businessman in London. Oh, he's a clown.
This is fucked. Albion is running this station.
And the entire police service. But don't worry, if you're not pleased with your privatised goon squad, just take your business across the street.
Great. Not a fan of the Met, but I'll take Bobby's over jackboots any day.
Not to worry, the only difference now is the uniform, assault weapons, and the fact they're motivated by profit over public service. Now, any record or information on the Spider-Bot will be further in.
You thinking what I'm thinking, Bagley?
According to the serial numbers, this matches the piece of Spider-Bot from the Tone bombing site.
Must be a way to ID the last user.
Navigate the Spider-Bot from out of that room. I'll need a direct connection in order to learn more from our bisected friend.
I've got this.
That's a part of the remote detonator system from Parliament. If the Met, or Albion rather, actually analysed it, they would see it wasn't DedSec's handiwork at all. That opening right there looks like a good exit point. Right, get comfy. This Spider-Bot might be broken and missing some of its legs, but it can still jump and fit through vents. That's a good way to get through the station undetected. That's Dalton's mask. It must have been recovered from Parliament. It might be the only thing left of him now.
Can't complain about more dosh.
Buggery fuck, would you look at all this junk? You'll have to jump your way across to get to the next vent opening.
Decided they couldn't be trusted to do their jobs. Suddenly some corporation can clean up our streets better than the same police force we've had for who knows how long. When crime fighting is treated like a business, crime will never go away. That would be bad for business, right? Don't tell me Albion has our best interests at heart. So
if the police could handle their job, Albion wouldn't be necessary. But they can't. Home bombing is the perfect example. A bunch of lazy, ignorant well, they're not at wheel anymore, are they?
You're almost there. Make your way through this last vent path.
Get on the ground. Do it.
Standard quadrant search. I have this one.
I have it.
Scanning Spybot and accessing its internal drives. While I'm analysing this data, you should make yourself scarce. Unless you'd like to explain to your new, heavily armed, privatised police force why you've broken into the station.
Fine.
The Spiderbot fragment you found has a satellite-based GPS module that regularly pushed its location to a specific ground station.
This fucking rabbit hole just goes deeper and deeper, doesn't it?
Pushing you the ground station's coordinates.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcasting has been through a lot of changes since when the signing of...
Max, little help here? How do I get in?
I'm detecting a surveillance network guarding a space under this bridge. If you can patch into it, perhaps you can take a look inside. The GPS history of the Spider-Bot we recovered regularly pinged these coordinates. Our mystery witness to the real bombers must have come to this lovely, damp location several times.
It's definitely out of the way. Perfect spot to do some off-the-books shit.
Or to discreetly dump a body into the Thames.
This area is being recorded by the GBB.
Get to cover!
Engaging target.
Global British Broadcasting. Britain's first news network. Be on alert. A compromised drone is in your area.
Received. Moving to intercept.
Just surrender!
Control, we have an officer down.
I'll do this. Going in to check.
Anyone have visual?
Yep,
Anyone?
Go!
Control, we're pursuing the suspect.
Putting an end to the chase now.
Well, fuck. We got ourselves a rogue cop shop.
Well, if Albion was stomping all over your workplace, you'd find a different place to store your lunch too. And it seems our mystery officer was dedicated.
Enough to follow a lead all the way to the Tone bombing. What do you think, Bagley?
The computer's dusty enough to kill an asthmatic, but there may still be something useful on it.
This is Inspector Caitlin Lau. Well, former inspector now. Since Albion's coup, the Met is no more. The police brass had already buried the evidence anyway. Everything implicating Albion and Clan Kelly in the bombings. But I know Mary Kelly's band of twats were involved, and they're involved in other crimes we can look into. Me and a few good mates are willing to go off book, going after Mary Kelly again. I'll never fucking learn, will I?
I am here.
Inspector Caitlin Lau, video log. Clan Kelly and Albion are teamed up on some deal.
Sorry I'm
I
late.
don't have all the details, but it looks to be human trafficking. The European Processing Center is the Albion angle. Since the bombings, they can grab anyone off the street. Call them illegal immigrants, potential DedSec insurgents, whatever. Though we know who the real danger is. So, Clan Kelly gets hold of these people, these immigrants, deportees, victims, really, and they're taking them somewhere. But where and why?
It's all good,
All
bro.
comes back to the boss lady herself. I knew she was into something, but she wriggled off the hook. There's only one way I can do this. 24/7 surveillance on Mary Kelly. If I'm caught, well, this will be my last entry. But I have to see what she's hiding.
So, our mystery officer was Inspector Caitlin Lau. It sounds like Mary Kelly was her white whale, and her investigation led her to the bombings.
Fuck. Albion have thrown in with the Kellys, waiting on the bloody lizard people to join the conspiracy.
It seems like Zero Days Web covers all of the unsavoury bits of London. Tug on a thread, and it leads back to them. Clan Kelly and Albion included.
Well, I'm not sitting on my ass while they go on abducting people off the street.
Inspector Lau mentioned Albion is running their part of the operation out of the EPC. Detectives like us call that a lead.
This Albion Clan Kelly business leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And if Caitlin Lau's right, then this little nugget jumps to the front of the queue. We have reason to believe a former DedSec operative may still be alive, but missing inside the EPC.
Angel Lopez. Not London born, but I won't hold that against him. Unlike some others.
Looks like Angel got caught up in the immigration roundup, which... Ironically, maybe the only reason he escaped Zero Days DedSec purge.
Anti-immigrant sentiment has grown in London since the bombings. Albion fuels it. It allows them to send anyone they want to their brutal refugee camp.
We need to find Angel before they discover he's DedSec. This is kind of personal team. But finding his trail might just shed some light on the Albion Clan Kelly connection.
Shite. Well, bright side, at least they wouldn't have shipped him out. But means he's in limbo at the EPC. Not ideal. City's gone to pot, hasn't it? Interested in maybe changing things for the better?
Funny, I was about to say the same thing. I'm looking for someone who can get to difficult places. Is that you?
No secrets safe from us, mate. What's up?
There's a file at these coordinates. Get your hands on it.
Well, she's not in the mood.
I, for one, am intrigued by her mysterious aura, and I know literally everything, so that's saying something. I'll pass along the coordinates if you'd like to take on her request.
This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get... Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing is to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around
The coordinates point to a server in the vicinity. The file our friend was talking about must be stored on it.
Acknowledged.
There it is. You can hack in from there.
Spread out. Find the suspect. Drone, initiate search protocol.
Bagley, what have we got?
More GPS coordinates. Seems we're on a bit of a scavenger hunt. I put the odds at about even we find a corpse at some point.
Huh. Interesting. Send me the coordinates.
City's not for sale! Have you got it? Now, you wanker.
No, yeah, I do. Here.
You have to be so patient next time. So careful, yeah? Albion's watching.
All right, I've got the message.
The hell was that for?
Not sitting around. Hey, mate! Thanks again for helping me out.
I'm here.
Correction, you're almost there. The exact coordinates point to a spot on the roof.
Oh, for God's sake.
Go on up. You get.
Finally. Feel like I've been waiting forever. You're with DedSec, aren't you? I've been keeping track of your various endeavours and I'm interested.
Yeah, that's great and all. Now, why are we up here?
I needed to see what you were capable of. Can't come to any real conclusion without some concrete results.
And?
I'm impressed. I have a lot to offer DedSec, and I'm willing to join the fight if you're interested.
Welcome to DedSec. Bigger, stronger, badder than ever.
Yes, well, I'm ready to help.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcasting has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free voices
I repeat, all units, we have reports of a hostile in your area. Over.
Move into the hostile's location.
So before the media fragment, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and
Control, we are unsighted of suspects. Over.
Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster,
put out an
the most
APW,
important
target
thing was
is
to
gone.
keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible. And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulated techniques around behavioral...
So, I've delved more into Caitlin Lau's investigation, and an enormous number of missing person cases centre around the EPC. The inspector was definitely onto something.
We need to find our contact. I assume you all realise that Albion finding out Angel is DedSec would be disastrous? For him as well.
strictly summons. I've already taken care of your entry. Get you in quick and quiet.
Please tell me you're competent enough to have kept it off the record.
No worries, I'll spoof. Well, come meet me on the rooftop. The only place here that doesn't smell like piss. Got some info for you.
The European Processing Centre. It processes the...
New me, eh? Have a drink? Not half bad considering it was made in a bleeding bathtub.
What's going on here?
This place is worse than a prison camp. Every day I see people come through here, torn from their homes and their families. But I'd rather stay and keep an eye on things. Maybe help out once in a while. Like now.
Jesus. So because they're illegals, the government just packs them up and forgets about them? I mean, look at this chaos. How would they even notice if anything happened to anyone?
Yeah, well, people have been disappearing. Records say they have been processed, but it doesn't add up. No one ever properly leaves. And with the Kellys prowling around like fucking hyenas, I am not too optimistic about the people slipping through the cracks.
For fuck's sake. Mary Kelly is truly affiliated with every immoral operation in this city.
Truth. Now, about your missing guy. The best place to start would be the EPC database. They keep a record of everyone that comes in. And be careful.
Pushing the location... the EPC database on your optic.
All right, my friend. A bit rude, yeah? Nah, thanks. I'm not interested.
Child's play. This is exactly why I was recruited.
Sheethica LOL.
There will be a database here that we can search for evidence on Angel Lopez.
Area's clear. Continuing the search. Looks clear.
Where are you hiding?
This is getting you nowhere. Area clear, moving on. Not seeing anything here. Moving elsewhere. If you're not careful, they'll get you and jump. I'll shoot! Oh! Damn it! Think we lost him.
Go on, Bagley. Tell me you found something.
I have. His file has been deleted from the main database, along with hundreds of others. Still very detailed. Even when committing crimes against humanity, the government doesn't skimp on paperwork. Here is a recording labelled Exit Interview.
You know what we do with terrorists, Lopez? Don't go pissing me off by denying anything. We know you're with DedSec. You think you were picked up on some random sweep? Not a fucking chance. Nothing to say. Well, this is not going to go well for you then, because I want information. The rest of your cell, where are they? I want names, places, everything you've got.
You think I'm daft? I spill everything I know and what? You let me go? I'm not talking. I know how this ends.
Oh, I don't think you do. I'm going to throw you to the wolves. The Kellys have an interesting way of disposing with problems.
You think I'm scared of some fucking thugs? Of winding up floating in the dams? Fuck you.
You're too pretty for that, mate. First, they'll peddle you. For dosh, right? Then, when you're used up, they're going to chop you up and send the pieces to the four corners.
I can take whatever you've got.
I almost feel sorry for you. Get him to the bloody clinic, then.
Shit. They knew he was DedSec the whole time. This doesn't look good for Angel.
The clinic keeps government service hours, which means it's closed. We'll have to find Angel the old-fashioned way and hack their CTOS hub. Deportation limbo, horrible living conditions, unexplained disappearances. It's almost as if the media are deliberately ignoring the situation here in favour of... Oh, look here, Beatrice Stokely, 89, recently took up kickboxing to fill up her days. Fascinating. If the EPC is a typical example of how humans treat each other, I'd say a benevolent AI overlord is a step up, wouldn't you?
You are aware of the first law of robotics, right?
I have reconstructed an AR scene of Angel's examination. You can view it inside the clinic.
Well done.
CTOS-AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
Let's make a deal, yeah? I know people outside. Maybe I can help you out. Just let me out of here.
Procedures, Mr. Lopez. We'll have you out of here in a minute or two.
Fuck! What was that?
That was an implant of some description. We need a closer look.
Facial analysis matches for both. They're part of Mary Kelly's little pack. So, Inspector Lau was right after all. Clank Kelly and Albion are in bed together. What a shit orgy that would be. Microchips, coated with biocompatible glass to prevent rejection.
Interesting. An implant in Angel's neck could be for a number of things. Monitoring health, tracking him, maybe?
No, these are more sophisticated. If I had to guess, I would say they were designed to deliver a dose of some unknown compound. Not the kind of thing you find at your local corner shop. I could reconstruct the path he took if you want to see how this cliffhanger gets resolved.
Keep on him, Bagley. He may have escaped.
Fucker! Get it before he triggers! Fuck! He's getting away! Get after him!
Shit, they're catching up on him. Come on, Angel.
Yes, he might really escape.
Fucked up! We don't have a match yet. She's gonna kill us.
No, it's fine. As long as he's not damaged, there'll be no waste. Demand's high with the new network.
Guess you're right. Let's tube him, get him in the van and out to the incinerator.
That was unexpected. It must have been the microchip. Obviously more than a tracking device.
Somehow it activated. Angel might be alive, though. Whatever the fuck Mary Kelly's up to, he might still be alive.
We need to find him. See what they did to him. And what that fucking microchip is all about.
Seems like advanced technology for Mary Kelly and her band of thugs to be waving around. Could Mary be part of a scary dark web hacker group like, say, oh, I don't know, pick one, Zero Day?
Interesting theory, Bagley, but hold your investigation algorithms for the moment, will you? Angel needs us.
The incinerator they mentioned is probably the Southwark incinerator. It's practically right round the corner.
You might kill someone driving like that.